Wait, how's that on a checkmate?
Only one move, and
let's go! Let's go! Oh, that feels so good.
Let me just make sure of this.
Easy winning. Let's go. Let's go.
oh,
Mate is on the board.
the mate is on the board. Yeah, I
Queen
think she has
takes
to go for the
H2.
tricks.
I'm gonna lose some time.
She has to go for the tricks.
She's gonna move this here, but then I just take it with this. If I move up here, is that checkmate?
Wow.
I think that might be.
And let's watch him finish this thing
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah! 23 seconds remaining. I got it. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to do...
No,
Yes.
no, no, no.
Oh, no!
Luckily, this game, I haven't f***ed up. I keep thinking my camera's over there. This game, I haven't f***ed up royally. So, I say that. I say that. Oh, this is training. Oh, okay.
Like, last game was fun, dude. He made me think. He made my monkey brain have to think, bro. Damn. He brought the monkey brain out of the Stone Age. Watch the commentators be listening in on this part.
We are not listening in on this part. Not at all.
What are you gonna do, John?
Not at all.
What are you gonna do?
And there's some of the best moments from the opening stage of Tournament Arc. I'm Aranhawaii. I'm here with Japanesetutor. And before we get started, I just wanted to say that we'd like to hear from you guys in the community. So if you want to tweet at us at Aranhawaii and at Japan Tutor Chess, let us know if you're enjoying the tournament. Who knows? Maybe if we do a second episode bracket of Tournament Arc, who would you like to see competing? And whatever else you want to say, just send it our way. In the meantime, we have the semifinals to talk about. In the opening rounds, we saw Giguk, the Anime Man, Rustage, and Sea-Dog VA move on. All of them defeating 2-0 in their individual matchups, which was pretty awesome. And some really strong chess was played, right, JT?
Oh, there was some excellent chess being played.
So now we are going to see... the other prophecy that came true was that the Trash Taste guys, they've made it. All three of them have made it through their initial round, and they're all going to be fighting for a spot in the final. We will also have a third place match. And the format for today is just like the last 2 days. Each pairing will play 2 games of 10-minute plus 5-second increment chess. They will play once with each color, once as white, once as black. And you get a point for a win, half a point for a draw, nothing for a loss. And all you have to do is get to 1.5 or better, right? 1.5 points or 2 points. That's a win and a draw or 2 wins. And you're done. Now, if they tie... and it's 1-1 after those 2 games, they go into a sudden death situation where they will play 3-minute chess with a 0-second increment. No increment at all. It is going to be crazy fast if we get to that. And that should be super exciting. And if they keep drawing those games, well, they'll keep playing 3-0 until somebody wins one. But before we dive in, I would like to take an opportunity to go over a key concept that we talk about a lot in chess, and that's the value of material, right? And so, JT, I'm hoping that you'll walk us all through what we mean by, like, you know, this is worth this much and that's worth that much, and what are we really talking about?
All right, so pieces have a general value, right? And pawns are worth 1 point, knights are worth 3 points, bishops are worth 3 points. Sometimes they can be a little bit stronger because they're long-range pieces, right? And rooks are worth 5 points, queens are 9, and the king is the whole game, right? But when a piece is not doing something, it has less of a value. So let's take a look and compare the 2 knights on the board. So first, let's take a look at the knight at the corner on h1, okay? This knight can only go to 2 squares.
Hmm.
So that means that this knight is a very weak knight compared to this knight, which can go to 8 different squares.
Yeah, much better in the center, obviously.
Yeah, and here we would actually call this the octopus. If Kasparov actually coined that term, we actually put it over here, let's say this would be an octopus because it controls so much of the enemy's territory.
Mm. Yeah, and this is why we stress so much getting the pieces closer to the center of the board, right?
So the better, yeah, exactly, Aaron. Thank you for mentioning that point. The better your pieces are, the more in the center they are, the more influence they have on the position. So let's compare the 2 bishops, right? This bishop, very long range piece, controlling basically the whole board on the dark squares. Whereas this bishop is blocked by pawns and it can't go anywhere right now.
It needs help in order to have a future.
Yeah, definitely. And here we would want to move this pawn and then get the bishop out, and then finally it's in the center and doing something. But now you guys can see why the center is so important. Also, let's take a look at the rooks. Let's compare the rooks. This rook on A1 is looking at a brick wall. It's looking at its own pawn. While this rook is enjoying the B file, and it can go up, down, and it potentially, maybe he can even go to the C file. But this rook has to wait for either this rook to move or this pawn to move. And if this pawn moves, it's still limiting the rook, right? That's why rooks love open files. Same thing for the queen. The queen loves to be in the center, but pro tip here, do not put your queen in the center too early. Okay? You don't want your queen to get harassed, and you don't want to have to lose tempo. We talked about that in some of the previous shows. We don't want to lose time in chess, right? Because if they attack our queen, we need to move it. So not too early, but having a well-placed queen in the center is really, really good for you. So if you can do it in your games, do so. All right. And also, now, there's a really, really fine point where you should bring your king to the center, right? If it's in the beginning stages of the game, so the opening, please do not put your king in the center. Please,
unless you're a famous grandmaster / streamer.
Right. Unless you're a famous chess grandmaster / streamer. But if it's in the end game where there are a few pieces on the board, like let's say 1 rook and 1 bishop, or maybe a knight, and they can't really checkmate you and they can't really attack you so well, then your king becomes a very powerful piece. Actually, the king's attacking value is 3. So it's just as strong as a knight or a bishop. So remember, in the end game, you want to use your king. Your king's a powerful piece. In the opening, leave it alone. Okay, we're gonna cast it. We're gonna hide it away. Okay, guys, and that's why you always want to control the center in the opening as well. Get your pieces out. Get your pieces active. Control the center, because we talked about this a little bit before on some of the past streams, where if you attack the center, you can attack on the king side, you can attack on the queen side, and also you can attack in the center. Okay, guys, and that's all I have for you with material. I hope you like that. I hope you learned something.
Well, I know that you shared those kinds of tips with your students, and we're actually starting the day today with 2 of them going head to head. So this is the first time you've had 2 of your students face each other in this competition. I'm gonna put you on the spot here, JT.
Okay.
What is going to happen in here? You trained both of these players. Do you feel like I'm putting it? The ball's in your court. Go.
Okay. So these 2 guys are extremely smart, right? No doubt about it. Extremely smart individuals. Giga used to play chess before, and the enemy man didn't. He just started 3 weeks ago. And so Giga does have a small advantage because of his past experience, but the anime man has a lot of dedication. And if you look at his videos on his YouTube, oh my, the dedication, like 24 hours in a manga cafe. Like that was one of the best videos I saw. But yeah, I think if he put in 24 hours of chess, he has a chance here. So it's anybody's game, really.
Well, and that game is going to start in just moments. We've got the players on camera, and I've got my eyes on the live chess server to wait for that game to pop up at pretty much any moment. We told them that the games would start on the hour, and we're moments away. I'm so excited for this matchup. I think that these guys have been hoping for since we announced the tournament, for a chance to face each other, and they have it. And the game has kicked off. The anime man starts. The first game is black, and we'll have white in the second game. And here we go.
It starts with e4, and then e5. All right. Knight f3, good, attacking the pawn in the center and defending the pawn. Actually, we talked about this. And d4. These guys are playing these moves really fast.
Yep. Is d5 coming? Is this something that you taught?
Oh, we talked about this.
Wow. We've seen these pawns in the center in a lot of these games.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, just tension.
There's a lot of tension here. So I wonder if this is going to happen. Actually, yeah. So if takes, what happens takes. Is that going to happen? Uh-oh.
And there you go.
There we go.
Oh, are we going to trade queens here?
And then we're going to trade queens. Oh, we have a match.
And so now white has taken away black's right to castle. The king will take, but now it's broken the rules, cannot castle later in the game. And now white can take advantage of that.
Exactly. And now here we have none of our pieces developed. So we should think about how to develop our pieces and how to develop them effectively. Where should we move our pieces? Where are they going to be good? Bishop c4, a very nice move, attacking the pawn.
You know, I actually want to see what Anime Man feels about losing his right to castle and how he's gonna deal with that. So maybe let's go listen in.
All right.
Oh my god. Okay, I see you.
Did he forget which direction pieces are moving?
You might have.
That was the fastest queen exchange I've ever seen. Damn, Gaunt's coming in for the kill, dude. Gaunt is coming in for the fucking kill.
That knight is lost, and he doesn't realize it because the pawns have swapped positions.
Ouch. Ouch.
It's sinking in now.
And he's trying to make me double up my pawns. Also, I totally missed that knight. I don't know what I was thinking there.
And the pawn on f7 is also falling.
Oh, yeah. But also development. Really fast moves.
Yeah, I mean, do you think maybe Anime Man's moving a little bit too quickly here and missing these things?
I think so. I would take more time in the opening, just slightly more time, because these moves are coming out and they have barely used 30 seconds of their time.
I feel like when the queens come off the board, you can burn time, right? And at that point, you know.
Right. The plan should be to identify what are the best squares for your pieces, right? So maybe the bishop's best square is c4. Maybe this bishop's best square is e3 or f4. And the rook's best square, obviously we talked about this in the lesson earlier, d1 and e1. Right? And so for black, what are black's best squares, right? So this bishop, well, maybe can't get there, but it would maybe love to be on d6 or on b6, right? This pawn's being attacked. This pawn's being attacked. Let's just highlight these for you guys. And also, these rooks need to get over here. So I would give a very big advantage to Gigok right now.
Yeah, and let's maybe listen in and see how he feels about that. Does he realize that he's cleaning up right now?
Yep. I think I'm in a pretty decent position, though. What I do is I'll move my rook there, take that, and then I'll pressure this pawn. I'm not gonna give him any breathing room. I can't give him any breathing room.
I think the guard is going for the kill.
Joey, I'm sorry, my boy. I'm sorry. Out of respect, I can't hold back. Out of respect. Okay. In that case, I'll still move this up.
Giguk is talking like Wamu. Jojo, he's like, it's the warrior. The warrior in me has to respect you.
Yeah, that was a great episode. Honestly, here, the plan, I think I would play in this position. I would play bishop to e6. Bishop to e6 here, holding down everything.
Yeah, and you can also correct your pawns after taking back, right? Get rid of those. Get those double pawns fixed.
Yep. And here we do need to get that knight out of the way, and bishop g5 might be coming. And on bishop g5, oh baby,
Ooh, yeah.
oh yeah, we just want to keep developing.
Okay, rook develops with a check.
So it is a check. It is a check. Where's the slide to? Uh-oh. Now this rook
Is totally locked in.
Yeah, he's locked in. He can't really develop.
And this is something that we just talked about, right? Those rooks in the corner, they need room to breathe. They got to get out. Otherwise, they're worth nothing, really, right? We say they're worth 5, but if they can't do anything, well, are they worth anything?
No, not really.
Well, let's, you want to listen in on Anime Man, see how he's working out how to get out of this pickle?
I was just going to suggest that, yeah.
Let's do it.
That's what he's trying to do. Because if I get this rook here and this rook's not here, then I can just boop and then that'd be checkmate. But he won't do that. He's trying to prevent me from going to the E file. And I think what he's trying to do is the exact same thing. He's got this D file open. So I need to start opening up these pawns so that the king can escape.
Okay, he's got ideas, but are they the right ideas?
That's what I thought.
That is the
So
million-dollar
what I
question.
can do now is put pressure on this bishop. Because right now he's going for this diagonal, which isn't really doing anything. So I can put pressure on this bishop, and now I'm leaving some breathing room for my knight.
I think that's a good
for my king.
idea. It's a great idea, actually. Because we want to develop our rooks as well. So
Yeah, he's realized that his growth is being stunted right now, and he's coming up with a plan on how to address that.
he's also attacking a pawn here. Will he notice it?
You know, oh man, if I were Joey, I wish I could remove that knight from f6.
Yeah.
Because that rook wants to live on the e file or the g file or something, but it can't get there.
Right. So maybe before he should have played king e7 instead of moving his king over to the corner, right?
That way the rooks could communicate and they can move more freely.
Exactly.
Okay, and he's executing on his plan, right? He's like, okay, I decided that this is what I needed to address, and I'm doing it. King's out of the way. Now, from Giguk's perspective, what would you be trying to do as white?
Okay, so from white's perspective here, what I would try to do is I would try to take this free pawn, get my other rook here. So maybe it was worth moving the other rook there. Or maybe even trying to double up on the d file and say, hey, the d file is going to be mine. So maybe I have to remove, like, let's make a move here, bishop f5, which was played.
All right.
Then rook maybe to d3 or to d2. And then the rook to d1 saying, hey, this file is mine. And you can't take it away from me.
Yeah.
And so that would be my plan.
I mean, yeah, look at Anime Man's back rank. Those rooks cannot get to any open files. That knight is doing an amazing job. And then the d file is controlled. So,
and you can also see how much effort they've put into learning about chess. They were not playing like chess like this in the beginning. When I first started coaching, it was not like this. They are both thinking about plans and thinking about ideas, and they've shown their improvement throughout the course of this tournament and the tournament arc.
well, let's take a listen in to Giguk right now as he starts to coordinate his pieces and maybe begin an attack. It's just deciding what.
How do I keep pushing this pressure on? How do I keep putting this pressure on? Can't pressure that pawn. Right now he's boxed
thinking about the
in.
right
Can I
idea.
move my knight? pressure somehow. Yeah, I'll do that. If you want, I'll move my knight. If I move my knight here, he can go there. If he wants to trade, then that's fine too, because that means less material for him.
And this is the idea that
But
we covered. Very
I
nice.
want to be as
I don't know if you watched the
annoying-
podcast, but we
annoying
talked
as
about
possible.
getting the knights to the center and getting them to good squares.
Is that the right move? Or do I just push pawns? Hell yeah! Actually, I can just push pawns. Boxes.
Ah,
No, actually, I don't want.
And he was kind of backtracking, and that's good. Those were two different plans and really good plans.
Okay,
and
let's see
he's
if
looking
he
at
wants to trade
both
the knight
sides of the
first.
board.
Very important. That's something that I took. That's something I told him about. That 1.5 player
shouldn't
chess.
trade.
Stop their
You
plans
shouldn't.
first. You know, with yours.
That 1.5 player chess, that JRPG plus
Yeah, exactly.
chess.
And
Yeah, you have an opponent, right? You can't just think about what you want to do. You have to think about their plans and their potential as well.
yeah, and he goes for his plan. Knight to c5, a really, really nice square for the knight. And if the king does decide to go here, oof. We're going to
Yeah.
see maybe this move. Then this bishop is
The
trapped.
bishop has no squares.
Uh-oh.
And we know Giguk was already looking at that pawn
Yep.
with that same idea. Let's see if he realizes. I mean, he talked it out, right?
Oh, yeah. I want to see what the anime man is feeling about his position.
Samesies.
Used my king to basically, I just cock blocked this bishop from coming here. Now he's pinned me. But I can force him to move his ass out of the way.
And here we have it, b4.
There it is.
Hmm. That's unfortunate.
Okay, so now that you know you're losing material, ooh, off the deep end.
Oh,
I'm gonna probably lose that bishop.
that's something you hate to see happen. When you're losing, you sack an exchange to try to get something else.
Yeah, there's really no follow-up for that kind of sacrifice.
And I have to give credit where credit is due. Giga has done a very good job of implementing his style of chess here.
Oh. I don't know why I did that. Fuck me, man.
And so I would love to show an idea here for the white side. How should you proceed? Of course, you know that you're winning here. Obviously, you don't have the eval bar when you're playing, and you don't have a live stream comments on your games. But how do you get the win here? What's the right move? Okay, and so here, so we just take, and now he has two pieces. Let's try to make and trade down those two pieces. If he doesn't have that, then we're absolutely winning. There's no way that he can win. Right?
Well,
so we need to get go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, white has a great move. If white could put that bishop on e4, and it can, then those bishops get traded off, because if the bishop tries to run away, you lose the rook.
I like that move a lot. Knight d7, okay. Knight d7 is actually a sneaky move. Because if the king here, then we actually have maybe something like bishop to e4. And if bishop takes, then we have knight c5 with a fork.
Yep. And you pick it up and you get the material back.
Right? And this is a pin, so the bishop can't do anything else.
Let's see if Giguk has a sense that this is coming to a close and that he's only going to have to fight one more game here.
Approach this. I want to get my rooks involved, so let's do that.
It's very much in his style. He's like, yeah, I could chase checkmate, but let me make sure all my pieces are involved here.
Yeah, and actually rook c1 sets up a very dangerous tactic. This is something that I actually went over.
Kind of just wary on time. Joey's not taking a lot of time either to move, which is what I was hoping. I was hoping to have a time advantage as well, but now the pressure's on me to close this game out, and I hate that.
And so rook c1 sets up a really nice checkmate trap, or even trying to fork some stuff.
That's the pressure I don't need.
We have to look really, really deep. This is a very, very nice plan for Giga.
Yeah, let's talk that out a little bit.
Sure. All right, so he's just sacrificed here, but before the sacrifice, if we just go one move back, then rook takes, king takes, bishop e4, and the king cannot go anywhere because the knight is covering these squares, and the bishop is covering these squares, and then the rook is covering this square, and then the pawn's covering this square, right? So the king is not able to move anywhere on the board. So that would have been checkmate. So let's actually catch up with them again. And I'll show you the moves that were played. So take king takes, rook g8 check, and king f3. And now we're at the current position.
So the anime man's down to just the rook here, and it's just not going to be enough to come back from this one. There's a lot of ways to close this out for white.
Now, if he did come back, oh boy.
Now, I made a JoJo reference earlier. That would be a JoJo moment right there, right?
That would be a JoJo moment.
You think it's over, right? And then he's like, oh, but I had a plan this whole time. You thought that this happened, but I had done this behind your back. And now you're the one.
Yeah, you thought Dio was dead in season 1, and then he comes back. Joestar.
He's just, Joey has to whip out Caesar's scarf, and it's over.
Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go.
Well.
All the references for you guys.
Yeah, if you need more, just let us know in the chat, and we'll just read them out. Oh, I'm just kidding. So, so let's go listen to Giga, because he's pretty close right now. I mean, he's going to wrap this thing up. He's taken away most of the defense of the king at this point, and I don't know. Maybe
I agree.
We'll get a little bit of...
That's the right move.
Game 1 hype out of Giga.
Okay. If I go there, where does he have to go? Can't go there. Can't go there. Can't go there. Can't go there. He has to go there. No, I think that's checkmate. Is that checkmate? I think that's checkmate. No, it's not checkmate. Fuck! What did I miss? What did I miss? What have I missed? Oh, he can just take my fucking rook. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm throwing. I'm fucking throwing.
Oh man, he missed the rook, but I mean, he still has a lot of pieces to close this out.
Yeah, this is still moments away here, for sure.
Okay, and if this comeback does happen, I am going to be so hyped.
Nothing. Oh, feels bad, man. Feels bad.
And so I would like to show here how I would close this out if I were white here. So again, we have a lot of pieces and we have a lot of good moves. So depending on what black does here. So let's make an example move. King to b6, right? We can almost force. Oh, here we actually have a nice idea here.
Oh yeah, that's it. You're giving it up.
Oh, goes for the free pawn. But honestly, this is so winning that he could do whatever he wants. But that really closed it out, because if you got that knight to e6, right? If you move the knight to e6 and then take the rook after, it was over. It was over.
But then maybe stalemate, sacrifice the rest of your pawns and hope that he makes a mistake.
Let's see. And so a beautiful move here, and you'll see this a lot. So this is a pro tip for you guys trying to learn. If you play rook d6, they cannot move here because of this knight, right? So always look for that opportunity, and where the king has to go down or up. They can't stay on. attack your pieces
Yeah,
anymore.
a lot of people issue checks without thinking, okay, where will the king run? Where can the king run? And then when you see those squares that are available, okay, well, how do I manage those squares? This is this 2-3 ply chess that we try to encourage people to work on.
Yep. And here also, oh, okay, so he moves the knight, and maybe he's thinking that this wasn't good square, but I think rook d6 and then knight c5 would have created what we call a mating net. And what is a mating net? A mating net is basically you move your pieces in such a way that you start cutting off little by little the king's escape squares. And finally, when you give them that last check, it's game over. And so don't always give checks aimlessly, right? Especially when you have time. Here, I would even invest 30 seconds trying to come up with a plan, right? We have 3 minutes to close this out. Invest 30 seconds thinking about a plan to try to create that mating net.
And remember, this is what we talk about, right? When you burn all that time on the clock in the opening, you maybe don't have that time now, but because Giguk did a great job developing early and safely and had that practice, he's got the time in the bank now to spend. So let's see if he's talking himself through some kind of plan on exactly how to spend it. Okay, following your approach.
This rook involved. I'll clean that.
Okay,
Now
you
it's the
sing.
choice to take that.
Yeah,
and I'll
go ahead and take
this.
Oh,
Thank
gives
you
up the
very
rook.
much.
Uh-oh, are we in stalemate territory here?
And
Let's see.
now I
Let's
will
see.
just box
We
in, I
are
guess.
indeed in stalemate territory.
Black's pawns can no longer move, so if the king has no squares but it is not in check, it is stalemate, and that would be a draw.
If we have a move here like rook f8,
Okay, let me think about this carefully. If I goes
it could be
there,
stalemate. Okay, good move. Very good move.
can't hit any of these squares.
Yep, it's working it out.
I really hope this doesn't end in a stalemate. If it ends in a stalemate, I am going to be pissed.
Only a few moves left.
I'll go with that.
Okay. Getting warmer.
Definitely getting warmer.
Joey, god fucking damn it, why are you being so difficult? Why are you being so
And we
damn
talked a
difficult,
little bit about
Joey?
this. You always have to be
God
tenacious.
damn
Even
it.
when you're losing, you should still try your best because you could still get a draw. Or maybe come around and get the win.
Still got a healthy 2 minutes.
You could go for a
Look,
different
I'm just gonna let him have the open space.
Here, let's
and I'm just
see
gonna,
what's
I'm just gonna
happening.
push this pawn up.
So h4. Ah, he's giving the king a lot of space. As he said.
But you know, you
maybe
can't
going
be
for
in
a
two
queen.
places at once, right?
Yep.
Oh my god, this is way harder than it has any than it should be.
I think he has it.
Thank you. Okay, I go here now.
You've got plenty of time. You should calculate this.
Okay. And I go here.
You gotta be careful.
Go there.
Very, very careful here.
Right. And then I check.
Good idea.
Okay. Let me just make sure of this so this doesn't end up in a stalemate. I go here. Can't go there. Can't go there. Can go there. If I check here. If I check him here. Can't go there. There.
This is time well spent.
Oh yeah. You see he has 2 minutes. This is
So I go.
this is almost the end of the game. You have this. Use the remaining time to
I go
find a
here.
checkmate.
Can't go there. Can't go there. He has to go there. What a precarious situation I am in. Okay. Let's
Okay, yep.
go there.
Yep.
So we can still move there.
This is so tense.
It's fine by me. Okay, I go there. Can't go there. Can't go there.
Minute and a half.
There.
But if he plays rook g3 here, it's a stalemate. So he has to be very careful.
If I go here, he has to go. No, stalemate. Fuck. I go here.
He's setting it up.
Yep, he's setting up the ladder checkmate. The king only has one
Oh,
move,
thank God.
and he has it. He has it.
Oh my God, that was so stressful. That was so fucking stressful. Oh my God. Holy God, holy shit.
He's got the first game, and now the second one is underway. Giguk is taking the first game. Now Anime Man has the white pieces and a chance at redemption here. He's got to win this game.
Yep. He's in a must-win situation. He has the white pieces, and he's going for, maybe he studied a little bit of my games. This is the Rui Lopez, and he's playing the Berlin defense. So basically, it's a grandmaster. The opening was played fast, and it's being played well.
Yep. By both players right now so far.
Yes, by both players.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if we can hear how Anime Man is dealing with that loss in the first game. So let's check in with him. More attacking chess.
Okay, very nice. Move bishop a4. He's attacking. This is basically main line so far. And what I mean by main line is that there's a bunch of theory that grandmasters have played, and they have determined that this is the best move. So this is why this is the main line, because these are a series of the best moves.
Joey's definitely focused right now. The past is the past, it seems, for him in that first game, and
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna do.
honing in on how to improve his play. In his last chance,
I can castle next turn too, I think.
get a seat in the final.
Unless he starts taking my
And
center
honestly,
pieces.
I think this position has been played many, many, many times, and by a number of famous people. So good job to them for being able to play such a high quality game.
Would you castle here before addressing this bishop that's staring down f3?
I would not. I would not. It's you have to be very careful with this knight move. We saw that in C-Dog VA's game, where they have this idea of knight captures here, attacking, right, the piece. And you guys know my favorite phrase, PP on the PP. PP on the PP, put pressure on the pinned piece. And you guys know this is my favorite phrase. And honestly, you can win a lot of games doing this.
Absolutely.
And so
look at this, 4 pawns in the center again. I mean, this is like the favorite formation of the tournament arc.
oh yeah. And I think here probably the best move is just to play captures and kind of adjust this knight. But also, okay, this isn't a good idea, but we have to do something about this threat. Does he not notice? But maybe we'll see some exchanges. And I'm very afraid of this move happening.
Yeah, I mean, when you count your defenders against the attackers, you have to remember that some of your defenders, if they're pinned, you can't count them in that equation because you'll lose higher value material.
Oh, yeah. And here you played bishop e7, you know, breaking the pin, but oh man, there's a lot of questionable moves happening.
Attacks everywhere, and I want to know. I need to hear from somebody. So let's go to Giguk and see what are they thinking.
Now I can take.
Yeah, let's see.
Right, nothing stopping me from taking. Oh wait, no, sorry, that was his pawn there.
Trying to move Joey's pieces for him. I mean, that's one way to try to win a chess game, right? I'll make your moves for you too, if you don't mind.
Right.
And now he has to take back with the bishop. He has to take that. No, he has to take. This bishop has to take to make sure it's an even trade. No, Joey. No.
Yep. Giguk's got the right idea. He cannot take back because he will lose his queen.
He can take my queen. That's fine. I'll take with my rook. If he takes with knight, I'll take with knight.
But wait a minute. Now the script is flipped on this exchange.
Oh yeah. Now the queen takes the bishop, and
But he can take with the queen. Okay.
he has a pawn
Okay.
for a piece, but he also has the bishop, which is a long-range piece. So he has to be very, very careful about the next few moves because white can start winning here with an idea about a pinned piece.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, put a rook on e1, maybe? Pinning that.
Which rook do you want to move?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Think about it like this, and this is another key for people trying to improve. This rook, where does it want to be? Does it want to be on d1? Does it want to be on e1? Right? And where does this rook want to be? It should be on either e1 or d1, right? But if this rook goes to d1, we can't get a rook to e1.
Correct.
Right? So that means that this rook should go to e1, right?
Yeah, make sure they both have a future.
Exactly. And it's very important when we talk about piece placement to do so. And actually, this is a very nice move. This is attacking, both pieces. It's saying, okay, I'm putting pressure on both of them. And if you move this knight, and I can try to play here, and hopefully in the future, I might have mate. Or maybe I can even play here.
Yeah, and Giguk may miss the long-range bishop there sitting on b3.
Mm-hmm.
We may have another one of those I haven't messed up yet moments.
Oh, yeah. So I would like to see what the anime man is thinking right now, because this is a very critical moment for him.
Yeah, let's listen in.
Yeah, see, he saw that.
He's got the mouse over the rook on a1.
He saw that. So now he's protecting this pawn and this knight. Very smart boy, Gaunt. Very smart boy. I can...
I like that
very
move.
Good move.
I like that.
Very good.
I can attack his rook now, though, if he doesn't take that pawn.
Okay, he's starting to show some full board awareness himself. Looking at opportunities everywhere.
He's not going to take that pawn, because then that's going to open up this rook attack.
Okay, but then what's the
And
future of
possibly
that
put him
pawn? Is
in-
my next question.
Oh, that'll put him in checkmate, actually. Oh, very good.
And I think he's
Okay.
thinking a lot more.
I will... I'm gonna have to retreat the queen. Am I safe there? I'm not safe there. I'm not safe there, and I'm not safe there. I'm not safe there, and I'm not safe there. Shit.
And
He's done a good job.
here there's a lot of opportunities for play and a lot of opportunities to mess up. So Gigguk here, while he might slightly be better because he has that extra piece, he has to be very, very careful here. This knight is on a very, very dangerous file.
Okay, and he's castled, maybe in recognition of the fact that he can release some of that.
But also he loses another pawn, and that pawn can be very important because it's only 2 squares from being a queen. And I would say that the anime man came back from that big blunder earlier.
Absolutely. There's so much opportunity here. If he can gain the initiative, which is something that you talked about yesterday, then and maybe define that for the audience, right? When we talk about the initiative, what are we saying?
Yeah, so basically when you have the initiative, it means that one side controls all of the play, right? And the other side is left playing defense, right? If, let's say, white has the initiative here and white makes a move, then black has to respond and say, oh no, oh no. And you keep the initiative by making active moves and plans and threats.
Yes, enforcing moves like checks.
Exactly. Right? And so here, even though Gigguk is up a piece, I think that the enemy men might have the initiative here.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful because with those knights in the center of the board, it's kind of a minefield for his queen, right? He's got to pick safe squares.
Oh yeah. And we have to, yeah, we definitely have to pick safe squares, and we have to think about this pawn, right? And the good thing about this pawn is that it always makes your opponent think.
Ooh, did he just let that pawn go?
I think so.
Because after black takes on d1 and white takes back with the other rook, the pawn falls.
Yeah. Another variation was just to take on a6, because if they take here, then you leave mate.
Oh yes, back rank.
Right. That was another way to do it.
That's a common problem with beginners as well, is forgetting that their king is kind of trapped behind the pawns you castle behind.
And now Gigguk has, if he takes this pawn, then he will have the initiative because of that extra piece.
Yeah, and let's listen in and see how Gigguk is feeling. Maybe he sees the advantage swaying back in his favor.
This is so
Oh, yeah.
close. I don't like this one bit. I can't move that pawn.
And he's not looking at the right side of the board.
Well, the queen's an intimidating piece.
And he found it.
I wanted to get rid of the pressure on there. And I'm also threatening a backdoor checkmate as well.
Ooh, bishop captures f7. I don't like that move.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does not work. There are too many pieces defending that square.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good move by him.
Complimentary of his opponent.
But he's not taking into account my knights. That almost panics me for a second.
Very easy to
And
blunder
I've
here
remembered I
for
could just
white.
take with my knight.
Very, very easy.
But let's see.
Yeah, there's a lot of moves that can happen. And here, like, let's say you try to move the queen, for example. This space is covered. This is covered. You know, this is covered. And we have to be very careful. Also, there's a very nice move that he can do here, threatening a back rank checkmate, which is queen to d6. And queen to d6, although you say, hey, they're just going to take your queen for free. Actually, here we have rook a1 because they left the defense of the back rank. The king has nowhere to go to. And then the rook comes back and we take, and that's checkmate. But this is almost an invisible move for some players. Some players, hey, I don't want to put my queen in danger, but you're putting your queen in danger so that you can bait them into taking your queen so that you can mate them. Remember, the goal of the game is not to protect your pieces. The goal of the game is checkmate, and you have to find all possibilities to checkmate your opponent.
Well, let's listen in and see if the anime realizes just how much danger he's in. One thing you'll notice about his clock is there's a lot of time on it, which may suggest he's moving a little too quickly.
Yep.
Man, I really want to like put my queen to some good use.
And here, rook d6 is actually a fantastic move. This is pretty much a grandmaster level move.
Fuck.
Understanding that the a file is no longer being used and contesting the d
Force my
file.
rook to move.
And I'm telling you guys, these ratings, they're very low for the strength and the level of chess play that they're playing.
Let me think. Not in immediate danger.
Ooh, here let's see what the anime is. If you can find something here. Oh.
Now I'm putting pressure on the knight. But the problem is he can just take this pawn, actually. But he won't do that, because then I'll just swoop in and take his queen.
And here, there's a really, really nice tactic. And wow. You see how this queen is behind? That knight is attacking, right? So you think it's pinned. But actually here, we have a surprising move. You should always look for checks first. Checks, checkmate threats, captures, right? And you want to look for forcing moves. So actually the move here was just to play knight f3 so that when they take the knight, you take the rook.
Yes.
Winning the exchange.
Yeah, that would be very spicy, but you know, Giguk's got the right idea. Like, go ahead, let's trade queens. It just helps me, right? Let's trade off the queens. I do not mind. I have plenty of pieces attacking.
That is a free queen. He can now take because of the checkmate threat.
Yes. Let's listen to Giguk and see if he's got this one in the bag and knows it.
Queen trade? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Free queen. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fuck yes. He took the bait. Oh, that was a hard one. That was a hard one. That was a fucking hard one. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That was such a good one.
Joey was celebrating with him. He's happy that his friend is moving on. It looks like he had a good time. That was wonderful to watch. Let's get straight to that commercial right away so that we can come back real quick with the players and hear from both of them while they've still got so much obviously to say. We'll be right back in just a moment. We are back with the players. We've got the Anime Man and Giga guys. That was amazing. That was a fantastic semifinal match. JT, I know you've got some things that you want to talk about, so it's over to you.
Okay, so I felt from this match that the Anime Man, you were a little bit aggressive, a lot aggressive, because you were playing really quickly, right? You had a lot of time in the beginning just to make your moves, and also in the first game, you were also playing very quickly. I was very surprised to see that. Why did you guys make that decision? So let's take Giga first. Why make that decision to move so quickly?
Just pure instincts, basically. I was like, I saw the opening match. I saw the opening moves, and I saw an opportunity to have a 1 point advantage if I basically sacrificed the queen. And yeah, I was like, let's. I think it's a 1 point advantage. I don't know if I calculated wrong. It was all like it all happened so quickly. No, I traded queens because I could stop him from castling. I was like, let's see if I could play off that advantage to be able to stop him from castling. And yeah, the game just went from there, I guess. I saw how, because I normally dictate how the game goes by how the first 3 or 4 opening moves goes. Right. And then I guess it just happened. I was like, okay, I guess this is going to be the game where we go full aggro and we just start trading queens straight away.
And why did you make that decision, Joey?
Kind of the same thing, really. Like I saw the opening move that Garn was making, and I immediately saw like, okay, it's not gonna be any kind of flashy opening from what I'm seeing. So I just played the usual, and again, I have to say it now, otherwise people are gonna call out. I didn't see the queen. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Again, it's just become a meme at this point that Joey doesn't see the queen. I legit didn't see the queen, and yeah, like if I did see the queen, then I wouldn't have moved that last pawn out of the way to open up that file. So yeah, I legit don't know what I was thinking there, but I saw immediately why Garn did take the queen, because again, as Garn said, like it's so to prevent me from castling, which I think really screwed me over because I was planning to castle. Right. And then basically from the rest from there, it was just damage control on my part, basically.
Right, and I do want to point out the opening in the second game. So you guys play like grandmasters for the first, I want to say 10 moves. And I just want to show you guys that you guys, so it went into a Roy Lopez, which is this bishop move here after bishop e5. And then the Berlin defense. This has been played thousands of times in grandmaster tournaments. Like this position, this exact same position. And I was very surprised to see this level. You transpose into a different opening, which is what we saw with you and D. And then d4, and this is like amazing high level stuff, right? So you guys, I don't know if you were studying, I don't know if you were like getting inspired, or maybe you're teaching the grandmasters, who knows, right? And this was, I just want to give this compliment to both of you guys. I am very happy in the way that you both play chess and the way you both develop as chess players and thinkers of the game. You guys really should get yourself a pat on the back. I can't do it physically because I'm not there. Sorry about that. But honestly, I'm extremely proud of the way you guys played, and I'm very happy to call myself your coach. So good game, guys. Very good game.
Thank you very much for your words.
You're too kind.
And so now with that, I want to ask both of you, Giguk, to start. You are moving on to the final to face the winner of the next match that's coming up just after this, which is Sea-Dog versus Rustage. Should I even ask you who you'd prefer to play against in the final?
I mean, obviously, I would prefer to play against Connor. Sorry, Rustage. You're a good boy. But we're aiming for that trash taste top 3. And also, I've played Connor a few times before IRL, and I haven't beaten him yet. But it's always been pretty damn close. It's been about as close as the game I just played with Joey, where it's like a one piece advantage that one of us is able to make do to win the game. So I want a rematch just to see if I've improved any since the last time we played. and hopefully we can get another as good of a match as we just had now, because that was intense for me to play. I don't know how it was for you to watch.
And for Joey, aside from that, the juicy extra cash for maybe winning that third place spot, is also the bragging rights of defeating the whoever moves on to face you after this next pairing. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I definitely won't be mad at fourth place, but if I'm in the position for it, I definitely am going to do my absolute best to try and get that third place to, as Garn said, get that trash taste top 3, right? So, yeah, I mean, I reckon I'm going to be probably going up against Rustage. Just not to say that Rustage is bad or anything. In fact, I think him and I will probably be able to do some quite close matches together, just from the way that he was playing against Sydney. So either way, I'm really excited for this the finals and the losers finals.
Well, I imagine maybe you guys might even be sticking around to watch what the result of the next match is that's coming up. Obviously, you have a vested interest in understanding what the situation is going to be. So we will let you go so you can tune in. And this was exciting, and we're going to see both of you again tomorrow. So until then.
Alrighty.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
And up next, this is we're going to do something a little unique. We were actually going to do a pre-match interview with Rustage and Sea-Dog. They both told us behind the scenes last night that they each have a little something that they'd like to say before the games. And so we said, well, all right. I mean, okay. Well, we'll give you that opportunity. So when we come back, we are going to hear from Rustage and Sea-Dog VA before their games. So stick around, everybody. You're not going to want to miss this.
Don't go anywhere.
All right. Well, we promised you we would have a pre-match interview with the players, so here it is. Sea-Dog, Rustage, what's up?
Hello. How are you? How is
Hello,
everyone
hello,
doing? Hello.
I'm
We're doing
excited
good,
to
so-
play chess.
So who asked for this opportunity initially
Connor.
to
It
do
was
this?
Connor.
It's me.
It
It
was
was
Connor.
me. I
Connor
wanted
wants
to
to do. He wants to
I-
chat his shit. He wants to be the big evil guy. He wants to be the man.
I wanted
I'm
to
here,
scare
like-
my opponent. I wanted to scare my opponent before we get in the game.
We are both shitting ourselves, but for different reasons.
It's a good point. I don't want to lose because I've talked so much shit that if I lose, it's I'll never get to live this down.
It is. Yeah, it's true.
But I saw him tweeting out something like it's a David versus Goliath game.
It is. It is.
But David won in that though. But so
You
that's
know what? I
kind
forgot
of-
about that part.
So Rustage, let me ask you, I guess. You got any secrets up your sleeve? Your secret weapons you're gonna unleash?
All right. So here's my plans. Right, Connor. When I heard him play against Nux that one time, he was panicking because he was running out of time a lot. I hope
Okay.
that I can just play
Okay.
for long enough that he runs out of time and I win on time.
All right, all right. Yeah, I played Nux, and it was the first games I played of chess in like a few years. And
Yeah.
I cleaned up my game a lot since then.
Okay, so
And
that
I know
plan-
you're
scratch
you're
that
scared
plan.
of the I know you're scared of the clock, Daniel. I've seen
I'm-
your games.
Okay, you know what? I was. Scratch that plan. You know, I'm planless. Maybe I'm hoping he might shit himself in the middle of the game.
That's a very viable strategy at this point. That's
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know,
let me
man.
ask you, have you just double bluffed because you were like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna make him do that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
now is that like
Oh,
now you're
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to put him on that back foot so you come around the other way?
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and I was meant to have a nap. Right? But then I had to do this charity stream thing that I promised people I would do. So I didn't have my nap. I've been awake for like 21 hours. I'm gonna freak out.
To be fair, I will say Rustage is probably trained the hardest out of anyone from what I've seen.
I have
so
played a lot of games and practiced a lot. Because
I think if we do a version 2, I think Rustage could get to like 1,000 rating if he kept playing. So I'd be interested
the
to see.
thing is,
that.
before we started like doing all of this, I was absolutely garbage at chess.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything. But I have played a lot to the point where I'm not terrible. I think me and
Yeah.
Joey are probably on the same level. Like if
I don't know.
go-
I feel like I could lose to you if I make enough mistakes.
Okay, well,
Oh.
see,
We'll
you're
see.
giving me false hope now.
No,
right?
I'm
I
saying
don't-
you should. You're good. You should be confident that you can have a chance.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well,
All
what,
right.
what about
This has not become trash. He's motivating.
What is
his
this
opponent.
wholesome trash talk?
I want
was
my-
waiting for a smackdown.
I want my opponent, even though I'm gonna win. I want my opponent to give me a good game. You know, that second game versus John, that was too easy. I didn't like that. That was too
Yeah,
easy, right?
that's
I
fair.
don't want that. I want a game that makes me think. You know, that's what I'm looking for today.
My actual goal in this game, it's I don't think I'm going to win, but my goal is to make it so Connor has to like think and not just roll over me.
engage the monkey brain?
Yeah,
Yeah,
engage them in the
engage the
monkey.
monkey brain. Yeah.
All right, well,
All right.
if you guys are ready, we're gonna let you go set up, and
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
also take a break, and then when we come back,
Awesome.
one of you is gonna make it to the finals. So good luck to both of you, and we'll see you and everybody in just a few moments.
All right. All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
are back, and dude, this is it. Sea-Dog versus Rustage. One of them is going to make it to finals. One of them is going to go home with, I don't know, 3rd place, 4th place. But like either way, they said they wanted Team Trash Taste, but Rustage could throw a wrench in that whole plan.
Yeah, they want the TTT3.
They want the TT on the T3.
Yeah, they want the TT on the T3. That should be something. Okay, Reddit people, do stuff. I don't know how Reddit works, but do your thing.
Reddit, do your thing. Yeah. Well, we're just moments away right now from what is going to be an epic battle. When Rustage said that this could be David and Goliath, I think he's right. Rustage could pull something off. He could spook Sea-Dog. Sea-Dog could overthink things. I mean, like, I'm gonna admit something that I haven't admitted yet. I played a game against Rustage maybe a week ago for fun, and he had me on the ropes the whole time. This kid knows how to find your mistakes and exploit them.
But you're like 1100, 1200.
Yeah. So the game has begun, and I think maybe that game give Rustage a little bit of insight and confidence in the fact that he could beat Connor.
Okay, so it's anybody's game.
And with the white pieces, we're off right now. So what opening is this? Is the Salamander opening, right?
Yeah, this is a Salamander opening. Yeah. Basically, the accelerated London system, and basically the London system doesn't want to win immediately right out of the opening, which is actually what I think a weaker player should do. If you think you're the weaker player, you should try to mix it up and try to win in the opening, because the better player is going to play better moves in the long run, right? So here he's playing great chess, but the London system, what you want to do is you want to get a good setup, play a good middle game, and then win in the middle/end game. So that's the kind of goal, right? You put all your pieces on good squares in the opening, and then you wait for the middle game, end game. And that's why people dislike the London so much. But I actually love the London. London's a great opening. If you're starting out, it's a great system to learn.
Well, let's listen into the opening thoughts / L'Oreal commercial that is
I can't move this now. He's also pinning me because my queen's here. But that's why... I should have moved my queen up first. That's normally the play. He's done this. Okay. I think I'm going to trade here. I'm pinning him. Got him in check. He's just going to take it, but that's okay. Because I've never opened this up. I'm going to move my queen here, so that when I castle, my bishops will be communicating.
I wish my hair could do that.
Oh, yeah.
God, I'm probably saying all this like it sounds smart,
No,
but
it's really smart, guys. What he's saying is...
I really want to take control of this square, but obviously he takes my queen if I do that.
No, this is really good stuff.
But he's no longer protecting that square, which is the important thing. That's what I wanted to stop, was him protecting that square. So once I move my queen up, here.
Okay.
Maybe. I could. I can't double move the pawn there.
A lot of arrows. This is Hikaru protege.
The problem is this. I think I might do that.
I like it. And as we come back to the live position, I just have to say that like this is the Rustage that I like to see. He's talking it out, right? This is something I find myself doing a lot, right? Talking out all the possible plans. Don't weigh them too deeply, but just like get a bunch of options out there and then settle on something.
Yeah, I mean, what he's saying is really good, and I'm actually surprised at the level of play. Now, Sea-Dog has also just played an extremely good move, right? You have to look at all of the pawn breaks in the scenario, right? And if you don't look at the pawn breaks, and what a pawn break is where you push a pawn to try to change the pawn structure. Oh!
Oh my gosh. No.
Oh, wow.
And you see he... Look at Rustage.
Oh,
he can't believe it.
Oh. I'm out, guys. I'm out. That was great. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, no. No, Goliath.
Wow.
Strikes the first blow. Oh, it's like the slingshot is swung back in his own face. And Sea Dog is eating it up. Let's listen
I
in.
can't believe he did
Yeah.
that. He was going too fast. He's going way too fast. Rustage, my boy, what are you doing? This knight doesn't threaten me at all. I think I'm going to make a scary pawn structure, actually. I think that's probably the best bet here. I wonder if that was a misclick or not. I wonder. I'm genuinely curious. That feels annoying. I'm going to just develop my bishop, I think.
I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated.
I was just saying how good he was playing. He was making all the right idea, all the right choices, all the right things that you want to say as a chess player. You want to think as a chess player, and then you play Queen B5.
Well, now we have to hope that game 2 is the comeback arc, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh. I mean, hey, that's good storytelling, right? You get the hero's got to be down for the count.
Right. The hero has to start losing, and then you finally feel like, oh no, my hero's gonna win, and then he comes back.
Oh man, I wonder if that's what Rustage is thinking right now. Maybe let's just check in and see if his sponsorship with shampoo company is going to make up for
by the horse. I'll just take back. At least it double protects my horse, and that's a good move for me. And I'm still kind of controlling the center. It also protects this square. The thing is, I've blocked my bishop here, though. He's going to take that unless I take him. What's the reason why I don't take that?
Because
how many attackers does he have on here? He's going to have the queen soon. But he wouldn't take it with the queen, because then I'd just take it. What's the reason why he's done this? He's moved this down to threaten this so that I would move this. I'm going to lose this anyway, so he's forcing this. Unless I put him in a position where I could take something else, like this guy, but then he will just take back.
Okay, he said that he feels like this game is already lost, but, he's still talking about the position like he wants to play on anyways, right? Do the best job he can do here.
And again, when you are losing, this is a great characteristic to have. Just be tenacious. Just keep playing and keep trying to play the best moves. It's never over until it is officially over. Until that says checkmate, right? And it brings you to say, hey, go analyze your game on Chess.com. It is not over. By the way, guys, if you do make a mistake, Chess.com has this amazing feature that you can retry your mistake. So if you play Queen B5, right, you play the queen from here to here, go to your analysis board and then go to the Chess.com retry feature. It's a good tool because I've used it a lot and I've gotten a lot better. So go try that out.
I'm pretty sure that almost any move except that move is going to be considered acceptable in that retry.
I'm pretty sure that as well.
Oh my goodness.
But here, okay, so I really like the active bishop. This pawn's a bit weak, but it does open up the A file for the rook here for black. And then castling is a great move, right? Because now there's no threat of checkmate. Almost no threat of checkmate here for the black king. And so now you're just developing the other rook.
Yep. Connor is going to have access to every tool in the shed. And let's listen in and see how he's feeling about this. How long is he going to take to close this one out?
Oh my goodness.
I'd give him 4 minutes.
See, I took 30 seconds on that. It doesn't feel like I'm taking that long, but clearly I am. Like, that's a move I should have done instantly. Like, in my games when I was playing yesterday, I wouldn't hesitate to do that move. I knew it was the right, like, that's a good move. There's nothing wrong with that move. I don't need to worry about, because I'm so far ahead, I don't think I need to worry about tempo. Like, I don't think there's a way that he can come back into this if I just don't allow him any way to get into it. If I just keep, slowly pushing forward and keeping my king safe, I can just slowly, suffocate him, I think. That's fine. We predicted that. I get to threaten pawn for free now. We get this pawn.
Bishop F5 is a great move.
But I don't know what he can protect it with. This rook, maybe? But if you protect it with this rook, if he goes there, I just immediately take. I'm just going to take 3 things until I've won at this point.
Following the rule.
I mean, this is unfortunate. He just blundered his queen right away. And then no hesitation, we just take, I think, right?
And
If it's free,
Get some use out of that rook.
it's for me.
You know, and he knew it's crazy. He's in his head. He said I know what you're about to say next is da 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 da.
The JoJo classic. What you're about to say next is.
Yes, Connor knows. It's like he's reading his attacks. He's reading his moves before they're even made.
Man.
Rustage is gonna have to work really hard in the next game. Have a little bit more patience, right? I mean, that's what that queen move was. It was just nerves and a little bit of impatience.
I think it was a lot of nerves, because you're playing against a tournament favorite, right? And if you're ever in a position like that, and you have cameras on you, and you have like a few thousand people watching you, and they're gonna criticize your game, it can get quite tough.
Yeah, I don't know how. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how I would do under this pressure, right? So credit to both players here. Like this is still excellent chess. I don't know that I would be able to play quality chess after dropping my queen like that. But look at Rustage. I mean, if we peek in on his stream, he is calculating. He is looking for possibilities. So let's listen in and see what we can hear.
I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost. I wonder if they're spectating me right now being like, what's he gonna do? Look at his stupid little brain not work right now. It's true, my little brain's not working. My stupid little dummy brain is not working. I could move this up and threaten the bishop. But then he just takes it. Then he just takes it. Shit.
Oh man.
Is there a little light in their rooms that tells them when we're watching that we don't know about?
Yeah, I actually don't know. That's hilarious because every single time we go over to view a game, they're probably looking at me right now.
Oh my gosh. I mean, look, okay, he's kind of settling into acceptance here, right? This next game is going to be basically you just pretend that this was a one-game match, right? Is that what you kind of do? Like you're a tournament player, right? You actually you are a rated chess player. You go out and you play in these rated tournaments, and there's multiple games in the course of the event. And when you're down early on, what do you do to recover?
Actually, I'll tell you a small story, or a short story that happened to me. So I was playing in a tournament and I went to, this was in Philadelphia, 2018 in the National Chess Congress. And I drew an early game. I wanted to win this tournament so bad. And whenever I draw or lose early on, I just think, look, now I'm going to have easier pairings. Now I have to focus. I can see my mistake and I'm just going to battle it out from here, right? I'm going to do my best. The only thing that I can do is my best and nothing more, right? And as long as I understand that, I'm going to play my best chess, right? I'm not going to fret about, okay, am I going to make a mistake? Am I going to do this? I'm just going to play my best. That's it. That's all anybody's asking for.
And just one game at a time. The unfortunate thing for Rustage is that he doesn't have the benefit of playing a weaker player in the next game. He has to face Connor again and has to defeat him. And meanwhile, Connor sitting patiently and calmly, just sort of making sure he doesn't make any simple mistakes, and just gonna wrap this game up. Let's check in with Connor real quick and see what is the path forward.
He has to move bishop there, right? That's his only move. Right?
It's a troublesome phrase.
Or you could bring another... No, it doesn't really help, though.
saying your opponent has to do
But I'm still
something.
going to get the rook. Bishop there defends the pawn. No, I don't know what he does. Does he just
Remember, guys,
moves it
they
out of
don't
the way?
have
I guess
to
he gives
do
up a free pawn. Though.
that. It's not forced that they have to
Yeah.
play there. It's
That's
not
a
a
good
check,
move, I
right?
think.
A check,
That's what I
something
would
is forced.
Is that a good move? No, you still lose
Right?
it. No, it's not a good move. What am I saying? Dot, Connor, your brain is fuzzied by the stream. Okay, rook there.
Okay. Gives away he's actually feeling a little bit of pressure himself.
I don't like that move, though. That one's bad. And then rook anywhere else, he
And
loses it. So he has to put his rook there. or
You
there.
might think,
Those are probably the safest moves. Then he gives it the pawn, which is fine.
and so you might think in certain positions, like, oh, you're winning, you should feel no trouble. You're just gonna close this out. You're just gonna win. But when you're winning, all the pressure's on you to win, right?
Sure.
And finding an excellent move here. Bishop c7,
Yeah.
right?
What?
That bishop just moves to one of the best squares on the board, saying, hey, this is attacking here, this is defending, right? So your queen has to move.
Yeah, and you wouldn't find a move like this if you were just giving this game up.
So he's really trying hard. Remember, he's trying extremely hard to come back, and he's looking for every opportunity here. And Rustage is being extremely tenacious here, and all the pressure is on Sea-Dog to win.
Yeah, and now you look at Connor's camera, he's a bit perplexed. He wasn't expecting such strength and resourcefulness in this kind of a serious disadvantage. But I mean, look at Rustage. He is finding stuff. Maybe he needs this kind of pressure for the instincts to take over.
And he found the combination, and let's go over and check him out.
He's just gonna get a free knight. I forgot that his rook could attack my rook the same way my rook could attack his rook. I forgot that his rook could attack my rook the same way that he could. I'll take it. But no, wait a second. I didn't forget that. No, he still took my rooks. Wait, no. I'm actually losing my shit. I'll take this. He's gonna take that. Yeah, pre-move that. Sweet. He's just up more pieces than I am, and I'm really in a vulnerable position here. That I think I might have to retreat this guy, so that I don't die. He's gonna retreat him here, so it protects that. I guess it doesn't protect that. Maybe.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
That was extremely funny. He's like, and Connor finding the double attack. Very nice, in good fashion. These two pieces are loose. And whenever you see loose pieces, and loose pieces are pieces that are not defended by any other piece, you want to try to attack them. And Sea-Dog did just that, and he won the free bishop on f4 by playing this queen over. Very nice. And now we're also, right? And now we have the initiative, right?
Yep.
You see, now he's just defending our moves.
And the path is clear for the rook to come into this and help seal the deal.
And there was a draw offered by Rustage.
I think he's too nervous.
So,
I think he's too nervous to play against me. I think
Rustage
he's
with
also tired as well.
1 minute.
I'll give him credit. I think he's a little nervous. I
And
think he's tired.
40 seconds or
I
around
think he
1 minute
did,
and
like,
50 seconds.
That move earlier where I fucking blundered
It's
my
gonna be kind of tough.
bishop, dude. That was big brain. I just didn't think. I was just getting so confident. I thought I won. Perfect. Okay, I can just swing this around. No hesitation. We go for the kill here, fellas. Of course, as expected. Not a problem, of course, for a good chess player like ourselves. If he pushes the pawn again, that's totally fine. It's good for us.
You recognize that theme song?
Oh, yeah.
Sea Dog's obviously moved on already. He's already thinking about his opening moves for game 2.
Yeah.
Even if it was a misclick, I'm thinking about the queen throw. Like, I don't think if I misclicked, I wouldn't expect the opponent to like restart or honor it. You know, I have no way of knowing, so I would just let them. Right? You know what? I made a misclick. Have it. Right. That's what would happen in real life, right? So I guess I don't know.
And he's
Yeah,
talking
and
about ethics.
Yeah, that's nice. And I mean, you and I probably would do the same thing, right? We play a game at home with our friends and we'll go, no, you can take it back. Like, yeah, we want to keep playing this game, right? But unfortunately, in a tournament setting, all's fair in love and war, right?
Yep. And here, you just have to keep activating your pieces. Honestly, if you just want the easiest way to win and you want to play monkey brain chess, just taking the knight with the queen and then promoting the pawn.
Exactly.
Right.
Use your queen to just clear off the rest of their pieces because you'll get another one.
Exactly. Right.
And,
so that would have been the monkey brain technique and just bam, 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 get another queen. But here
Okay.
you can get multiple queens, right?
Sure. Let's see if Connor wants 3 queens.
Gotta be careful.
And Rustage is figuring out, okay, all right, how many squares do I have my king here? Maybe I don't know. You could use that knight to build a wall.
I always say, try to go for the plan that is the easiest for you to calculate. If you find a win, right? If you see the win clearly and you've calculated everything, even if it's not the fastest, go for it. Right? Just don't spend all that mental energy. You're gonna lead it for later in the game. Just play.
Yeah, and you know what? With 3.5 minutes on the clock, if you make a mistake, you got plenty of time to make up for it. Well, let's listen in on Rustage here. I want to see what he's thinking. Is he gonna try to do something sus to try to wall himself in?
Let's see.
It's a forced move, isn't it? Ooh, sorry. Hey, he's won.
He can lock him out for like half a second. Ask for another draw.
I'll let him get his checkmate. You can have your checkmate. I'll let you have your checkmate. Oh, it's not even a checkmate yet. Haha! I'm free! I have escaped! I have escaped! I forgot to turn off the bits, but I didn't read whatever that said. I forgot to turn off the bits, but I did not read whatever that said.
And he's celebrating the fact that he's gonna make him take a little bit more time.
Oh yeah. And there is a checkmate on the board. Very nice, finding it in quick fashion.
All right, game 1 is in the books, and Sea Dog.
And checkmate. Okay. There we go.
Wow, 11-61.
0 mistakes, 0 blunders, 0 missed wins. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I think we
Really
made a blunder.
climbing there.
I don't know about that. Do I press rematch? Is that what we do? I don't know what we do. I didn't press rematch last time.
He's so ready for the next game. He's just like, what do I do? Should I start it? Should they
I mean,
start
that was...
Oh,
that
there we
wasn't
go.
even a game. Give me a game. I want to be scared. Okay, shit, we're already getting in the game. Fuck. Okay,
Well, Rustage is going to give you a game. Here we go. Oh, what is that?
A Caro Khan defense?
C6.
And here I told Connor in our lesson, by the way, it's on the YouTube. I didn't plug, right? Today? Cool. YouTube right there.
No, shameless plug count has not yet
Shameless plug
reached
count.
maximum potential.
Right? And I told him to try to take over the center. If your opponent does not take the center, immediately it is your duty to take over the center.
Wow.
And people are going to laugh. Ha, he said duty. Stop.
The only one that laughed just now was you.
Okay, thank you.
Newsflash.
All right,
But look,
that's fair.
D5. Yo, what?
That's a great move. That's a great move. Getting a pawn in the center, you're protecting it with this pawn here and trading. Okay, so we're playing a little, exchange, and now we should take over the center by playing D4, and we get wow, beautiful, and very quickly.
Both bishops have access now.
Exactly. And just make this pawn solid by just playing C3 or moving the bishop or bishop B5 is another move. And then we can castle. and we're good to go. And so far we have a great opening, and I think Rustage is taking a bit more time here and really calculating and making sure that he doesn't make a mistake. So I would love to see what he's thinking right now.
Yeah, agreed.
I think horse is first. If he takes that, I will just take back. I need to protect my pawn. And then I've got the bold move. Once I move the bishop out. Oh no, I can move the bishop out. I've got the bold move. Pawn to e5. Because if he takes, I take. I can't because he has it pinned.
This is good. Identifying mistakes and giving us the impression of his chinchilla character.
He played an opening that we really weren't expecting to see from a player at his rating, but now the test is
Lords of chess.
Does he understand
Funnel
it?
your energy, and he's castled already. Interesting.
So one of the main breaks,
I
and we
guess
talked
he
about
could.
pawn breaks earlier, right? Where you push a pawn into the pawn structure, is actually to play e5 or c5 when you play this kind of opening, right? And so since they exchanged on d5, which is they took a pawn, each one took a pawn, they don't have the c5 break. They don't have a pawn on the c file. So now the major break in this position is to play e5. So Rustage understanding that is huge in this game. Now he understands the plan that he needs to go for in this game. And so here, when we need to kind of say, okay, after knight c3, maybe I need to play this knight back, or maybe I need to develop this bishop so I can castle, right? And so what would be your first move? Well, there are a lot of first moves here, right? You can either play a6, e6, h6, right, to move the bishop back, e6, bishop d6, castles, rook e8. And I know these are a lot of arrows, but I hope you followed along, because this is the plan that he needs to go for. And if he understands that e5 is the main idea of this opening, then I think Rustage will find this plan. But I'm wondering what the plan is for white here. And I think for white, if they pressure this bishop, then I'm happy to just exchange here.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what Sea-Dog thinks of Rustage's opening choices.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Maybe this was the secret weapon.
I didn't expect that.
Connor's taken off guard.
What?
So Rochester's goal is complete. Connor is thinking.
You're right. He's
That's
making him spend
number
time.
one. Number one.
What can he do with this? Not much, really. Can't really. Maybe he wants to move knight here, threaten this. He's probably going for a cheese mate, knowing Rustage. Rustage really does like to get those kind of mates off.
It's possible.
I think I should stop that mate. I think that's what he wants to do. He definitely wants to go here. I'm seeing him eyeing it up already.
And clock continuing to whittle down.
Push this pawn. I'm in a bit of danger if I push that pawn. Oh, I've taken a lot of time here.
And he's playing almost in the style of Karpov or Petrosian. He's playing this kind of prophylactic chess. And what does that mean? Prophylactic moves, or prophylaxis, is basically saying, hey, I'm going to stop your moves before you even want to play your move, or because you want to play that move, right?
Preventative measures.
Oh, yeah. And he played a great move. H3 was just like, hey, I don't want to see knight g4 anytime soon. I don't want to see your cheese mates. Let me just play like this. But here,
H5.
we might have another idea of a cheese mate.
Yes. Wow, this is exciting. Wow, what a game. What a game. I think this is what we were hoping for, to see Rustage really come back and play some solid chess.
Oh yeah. I would like to see, honestly, what Rustage is thinking, because he might have some ideas in the works, because maybe he was trying to play a move, like a very spicy move like this, but let's see what he's thinking.
Yes, and that castle.
Okay, that's good. And it protects the queen, which is good. Then I'm going to move. Next turn, I'm moving this up. Unless he takes there, then I'm doing this, and then I'm moving that.
He's looking at everything.
Mm-hmm. And he's up a minute on C-Dog.
I wonder if he realizes that he has
He's using more time than me this game,
yes.
which is good. I'm hoping he's thinking more. And then we have to go to the 3-minute chess, and then we'll just both panic. Maybe I play better as black than white. That could be it.
I will agree
I don't know.
with that.
We haven't done anything
playing great
substance
chess.
yet.
I've looked through his games before, and he does play better as black.
I honestly think that first game would have been so much closer if I didn't blunder that queen straight away. If I wasn't blinded by my check. I need to... Okay, he's done that. That's annoying. That's the whole reason why I moved my shit, so that I could move my pawn up. I've got to take there. It's a trade.
And
Now
so
I've got a vulnerable...
Here, actually, the pawn capturing is actually a pretty bad move. Now, whenever we want to attack a pawn, we should, or a pawn chain, we should attack it from the base of the chain. So here we see this C6 to D5 chain, and we should honestly look for squares like this. We saw this in, I think, in the Giguk game, and we should see this move here, knight to E5.
Mm-hmm.
Knight to E5, such a strong move, a strong idea, saying, hey, I'm attacking this and your queen can never get off of it. And maybe even trying to play this knight somewhere, like, or playing this bishop f4. I think bishop f4 makes a lot of sense after bishop 4, queen e2, and just really trying to put a lot of pressure on the queen side. Now that we know where the king is, we should start attacking on that side. There should be no more king side play. And he plays it queen e2, finding the right move.
Mm-hmm. But looking at the clocks, I mean, sometimes having a lot of good choices can paralyze you. You give you decision paralysis. All of a sudden, well, there's so many good moves on the board. One of them has to be better than the other. So now I need to sit here and obsess about it. And that might be what's happening to Connor.
I would like to know what Connor's thinking, because this is a really, really critical moment.
Let's jump in.
This square is still free, but I think I'm going to take with my knight if he does. No, I don't know if I do, actually. I think I leave it. I can't risk opening up these pawns. That's what I'm really worried about right now. Maybe he thinks I'm trying to attack this file, but I really want to get this check and really put some pressure on him on this side. And maybe take a few pawns. Really open up this side of the map. I'm down on time, but I think that, again, if I'm careful with these moves, I can get to the point where I can easily last on 2 minutes, I think. I should just start taking about 30 seconds a turn instead of 1 minute.
Okay, so he's banking on his ability, hopefully in the end game, to not need time to calculate.
Right.
Interesting.
And that's a very interesting concept, because I think the end game is actually the hardest part of chess. Even though you say, hey, we have a lot of pieces off the board, but actually in the opening, if you make a mistake, you can always come back. In the end game, if you make a mistake, you know, it's pretty much game over. And there's a famous saying that one bad move erases 40 good moves. Right? So in the end game, you do want a little bit more time, but I like his thinking, saying, hey, I have an advantage, and if I can keep the advantage going, then hopefully my moves are easy enough to see in the end game.
Yeah, but hopefully maintaining that advantage is not too costly on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a little suspect, exposing your king like this, right?
But Rusich does something quite good here. He says, hey, I know that your threat was, queen a6, and I'm just going to stop it. And a lot of times, beginning players or beginners, they're afraid to move their king. This is actually a very high-level game. Saying, hey, my king is really the only piece I can protect a6, so let me just move it there to kind of prevent him from moving there. So I really would like to see from C-Dog knight e5, bishop f4, and maybe trying to attack in a different way,
Hmm.
or maybe even trying to sacrifice a pawn and say, hey, I need to get these open. I need to get these lines open. Okay, so bishop f6, okay. Okay, and G captures, you're capturing to the center. That's a good idea.
And now maybe that rook is useful.
Mm-hmm. And now I think you opened up the game for Rustage to maybe come back, because before now all the play was on the queen side, but now that you captured, you gave Rustage some play on the king side. So you have to be very careful with that.
Maybe that bit of prophylaxis that Rustage just demonstrated is taking Connor for a loop here. Like, which side of the board am I supposed to play on now?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I think that with knight c5 looming, queen a6, and ideas like this, that it's going to be very hard. I would love to see b4, b5. I would also love to see what Rustage is thinking in this match.
Absolutely. Let's tune in.
What is Russ going to do in this position? What's his next attack? Yeah, what's his next mission? I can't really threaten this bishop in any noticeable way. I think the only thing I... No, if he moves that, then I take it with the queen, but then he takes there. So...
And the time advantage.
I gotta protect that in some other way?
Mere seconds.
That advantage is starting to thin out.
That's where he's moving. If I move my pawn up, he has to take the pawn, which he will do, and then it's the same situation. So it might be better for me. Ah! What am I doing? Okay. Think. This is not a strong position yet. It's being defended by two. It's actually being defended by a pawn now. So I think that's now still a strong position. The problem with that is if he goes there, he puts me in check. I have to move.
Arrow game strong.
If I move down here,
oh, yeah,
he's going to move that here. And he's going to have a strong position here. And have that and this.
Wow.
And then he just has to do something.
Wow, finding an amazing move in the position.
I don't know. It's the only good that does something for me.
It does. It does do something for you.
And e5, very strong move here. Here, I think possibly the only move to kind of start this attack is to play b4. This is a move I've been mentioning, because b4, if queen takes, then we have this queen trap, right? Because of the pin to the king. And also b4 holds c5, which is another critical square in this position, right? I would love CDawg to find this move and identify that it's not just a pawn loss. And you have to look, you remember, not one ply chess, not two, but three ply. I make a move, he makes a move. And then what do I do from there? Right? So I would love to see b4 in this position. Knight c5 seems a little bit too premature.
You know, I kind of want to see, because we have this awesome ability to look in and see their mouse, it's almost like eye tracking in a way, right? You see the cursor and it kind of like gets you in there to see, like, are they hovering around the squares that are the critical, you know, are they on the correct side of the board here? And I've seen the squares on the B file a few times now, or that cursor, I mean. Let's listen in and see if the words match the movements.
Let him take this and push the pawn and get that position again.
All right, c3. And I think here, rook g8 makes a lot of sense, starting his attack on the king side.
Oh my god. Man, that was a great move. He spotted it. Fuck. I'm really impressed.
Quite a good move, and Rustage has a plethora of great moves at his disposal.
I can't give up the center. If I take this, I give up the center. I need to make sure I have control of the center still. If I give up the control of the center, I think it's over for me. He could push this pawn again, and yeah, that'd be problematic, but at least I still have some control of the center.
Clocks are starting to even up. And Connor's
This is
made a decent assessment of the position.
I really can't take another 2 minutes on a move like that. That was an obvious move that I should have found earlier.
Oh, here we go. There's a small inaccuracy here, and we
no,
can
that is
win a
interesting.
pawn. White can win a pawn and might be able to. That's an important pawn, actually.
Let's see if
Just go ahead
Connor
with my
spots
plan,
this.
though, right? What's that for? Oh, he's gonna bring his. Oh, he's gonna bring his rook over.
Connor recognizes that it's not just his own moves that he needs to start thinking about here.
Right, and knight c5 is actually the correct move because after the king moved, obviously he doesn't want to take with the queen unless he wants a repeat of last game. But this game, after the king moves, then we can play knight captures here, or maybe king 8 is better. Knight captures e4, pawn captures e4, captures here, wins a pawn, and that's a very important pawn because it destroys the center. And now they're probably going to only have one center pawn left.
And then immediately targets that new loose pawn on c6.
Yes, yes. So I would love to see this idea. Rustage probably thinking about his plans right now. I would love to see what Rustage is thinking at this very moment because I would sweat.
I'm actually not that interested. I'm kidding. We're going.
It's protected by the queen. It's protected by the rook. I'm gonna move it there. I don't want to be here because it feels like I'm trapped there. Listen, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves for the king, and one of those moves was the perfect move for that king, and one of them was the most blundery move. The question was which one was which. I don't know, dude. All right, he's definitely gonna take that, so I take that back. And now I'm threatening this. He's going to take that, and I have nothing to do with that. Shit. I've lost my bishop that was protecting that square. I can just... He's not going to... I can just take there, but then he just moves down.
And we have under 2 minutes for Rustage. He had a huge time lead. And I was...
He's a pawn up. If I take his pawn, he's just going to take my pawn back, and then I can't take it with the queen. It's really defended. It's really annoying, is what it is. If I move this, I no longer have that for the protecting this, and he could just go, pew! But then I guess I could take it there. I've removed his knight over here. So, honestly, is that the best move for me? Or would it be just to threaten his queen here? No, but then he could just take that, and it's not really anything. He's not going to take this. The queen, he might take that with that, and then I take this. I think I'm moving my pawn up.
Rustage may be chasing down too many trails here.
Yeah, and I think the simplest way to end this is captures. You're attacking the queen and the pawn. Maybe you want to pin it, but honestly, it's not even worth it. Maybe even something like this, or there are a lot of great moves here, and just taking the pawn. Right, takes, yeah, and he finds it quickly, putting the pressure back on Rustage. Rustage almost at 1 minute here. He's feeling a lot of pressure, not only from the position, but from the time aspect. And if he does take back, and then I just think, hey, now we're up 2 pawns. And
but let's look at this from the flip side too. Do you think that Connor, with only 1:50, is going to be able to clean this up and close it out?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
They're free piece alert. And if it's free, it's for me.
That's costly.
Yeah, let's
That is
see if
costly.
he sees it.
I can tell from the look on Connor's face, he knows this is important.
Yeah.
But he hasn't just done it right
scared.
away.
Do I take now and force?
I don't think he sees it. I don't think he sees that rook is free.
Uh-oh. He did not see
Take
it.
the trade, Rustage.
And now he's lost the chance. If Rustage takes the queen, then he maintains the material.
Don't be scared. It will be fun. Come on. Take the trade.
Okay. Knight capturing. And he's making his move very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I like to
Go
see.
here.
Okay, and obviously there's a pawn advantage here for white, but otherwise, if you just count the minor and major pieces,
You got a fork and a fork.
Oh, he found the fork. Yep.
Too
He's already looking for it.
uh-oh.
Great.
Yeah, he was already looking for it. I think the fork on f7 was slightly better because you win an extra pawn, but honestly,
Pre-move it.
he found it. Knight c6. Knight c6 was a great move. And now he has material advantage.
Yes.
And he got his rook
Significant.
to the open file.
And now the bishop is pinned. If you don't defend that bishop on your next move, that's going next.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Sea-Dog may have just let Rustage dig his own grave.
Yeah.
Wow. Of course, he defends the bishop, and that's good. But now, just a little coordination is all it's going to take.
Oh, yeah. As they say in all
And
the
there it
chess
is.
books, the rest is technique. But they never explain that technique. They never show us that. All right. So he does have a mate threat because if he does move this rook away, he does have a mate threat. And here we get collected free pawn.
Ah.
Very nice. And now Rustage is just playing on increment. What does that mean? Rustage is down to just a few seconds, and he only has basically 15 seconds for every move right now. And in a second, he's only going to have 5 seconds for every move.
But you know, this is where you have to calculate every single chance, because with that little bit of time left, you need to know what your opponent's mistakes are, the available mistakes that they can make, just as well as the threats they can issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you pointed out, there is a threat of back rank mate because the bishop covers h2.
Right. And he's just grabbing pawns. And I agree with him. Honestly, if we can take all the pawns and then trade down all the pieces, the king cannot stop both plans.
Let's
So good
listen
job
in
recognizing. Mhm.
as Sea-Dog may close out his spot in the finals.
Oh, he's in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot.
Does Sea-Dog know that he can't touch that rook on d1?
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
I feel bad, man. He wants this cheese, mate. I know he wants it. He's trying to get this cheese check.
He sees it. He sees
I know that's what he wants. He wants me to move. I'm not going to give it to him. You know what? I'm going to just let him know that he's not having it. Just, boop. And let him know. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. It don't matter. Is he just letting me end? Is that what he's doing right now? Okay. I'm gonna go up here. What do I do here?
What do you do here? There we go.
Mm-hmm.
You just have too many pawns.
And
Sure,
now
take it.
there is no cheese.
Why did he? All right, cool.
Just like we talked about before, that king cannot fight on both sides of the board at the same time.
Yep. So, yeah, pretty much just dealing. And no matter what happens here, Sea-Dog cannot lose this game, so he is in a winning position. Even if he draws the king, if he stalemates the king, which would be a kind of a villain thing to do here.
Yeah,
Give him the draw.
just that half a point will seal the deal. Maybe he should issue a draw offer.
Yeah, I think.
Wait, I gotta play the music.
Connor's got something prepared.
Uh-oh.
Not yet. I'm not done. I'm not done. I want him to know that I am stronger.
Rustage offering the draw.
Wait, okay. Another queen! Let's get another queen! I'm joking. I'm fucking with you. Okay, I'm done. Okay. Let's do it. Let's end him. Okay, let's end him. I'm not gonna BM. We don't do that here. We don't BM. All right. How do we do this? Because he's gonna be slimy about it. All right. He can't go there. Oh, let's just do this. Yep.
Will he see it?
He's got
All
it.
right, there we go.
Yeah, he found it. Let's go.
That's it, fellas. Damn, that was a fucking great game, Rustage, man. Holy shit, what a good game. What a good fucking game. Very impressed. Very impressed.
I agree with Connor. I am also super impressed, and I want to let the players know that. So let's go to our last break of the night, where we're going to interview both players. We will be back in just a moment. we're back with the players. Rustage.
Okay, hello. Firstly, chat. I know I'm an idiot. I know, I'm a little dummy brain. Listen, that queen blunder in the first game, that was like the smallest brain play I've ever done in my life, and I would have done that normally. Listen, I'm so sorry, and I know I let everyone down who thought it would have been like a closer game. And I'm so sorry about that first queen blunder. Listen, what was going through my mind was he moved the pawn, and I was looking at those pawns, thinking that those squares were not safe. He moved the pawn down. I was like, oh, that means that square is now safe because it's not being threatened by that pawn anymore. But I completely just didn't see the other pawn, so I moved the queen. And I immediately realized what I had done, and I typed no in the chat. Which I don't know if the chat is visible. It's not visible, but I typed no in the chat, which I think kind of gave it away to Connor that it wasn't a purposeful move.
It took I think I was like, oh, I think that's bad, but I think when you said no is when I just immediately took it. I was like, okay, you know,
I shouldn't have said that because there was a chance that you would have been like, because actually there was a bit in the second game where I had a free rook that I knew I made a mistake on, and you didn't take it.
Yeah, I didn't take it. Yeah.
And I almost typed no then, and I didn't. I was like, no, you might not take it.
I didn't. I was
okay. Sorry for going right off the deep end straight away. My camera's crooked now. I was saying earlier, right before this went live, that I knew I wasn't going to win, but I was just upset when I did that I was upset about letting Connor down because I wanted him to have like a
no, man.
And I almost burst into tears, like just playing, and I was but luckily the second game was a lot closer. Anyway, ramble over. You guys continue doing your cool chess stuff that you guys do.
Well, JT, I think that's your cue.
Right. So here's our first moment in the game, and this is the first game where you played c5. And so up to this point, actually, let's go back, because you were playing, like, when I'm saying you're playing great chess, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, the accelerated London system, like, that's some top level stuff. You're basically a mini Garakamsky. Like, this is great.
So here's the reason why I did the London.
Mm-hmm.
I watched, and don't make fun of me for this, I watched a tier list of chess openings for beginner players. And I saw that the London opening was pretty high up there, and it was the only one that was high up there that my brain could comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm just going to use this one.
I said to my chat, I was like, watch this. Rustage is going to do all of these moves. And I said that he did them, and he did them.
Yeah.
Okay, Jojo.
I was like Joseph Joestar. Oh man, I knew exactly what he was gonna do. I couldn't predict the queen blunder though. That was something that was too gigabrain for me.
I know, and I am.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't apologize. It's all for fun.
Right. And so look at this. Like, you guys are playing great. Knight BD2 was nice. You know, E6, Bishop B5, strong move. Takes, and doubling his pawn, saying, hey, you're gonna have a weakness. And then
and the other reason why I took that was because it was threatening the E5 space that I wanted to put my knight into. So I thought it was a fair trade. That's
actually the idea. That's actually the idea.
If it wasn't for my blunder in the next two moves or whatever, it could have been good.
Honestly, the rest of it was good. So after C5, and you're looking for pawn breaks. This is something that we talked, right? Look for the pawn breaks, look for your plans.
I'm trying to drag him out of the center. I don't want him in that center, so I'm trying to get him out of there.
And Queen B5.
You see the pawn?
Okay, can we have an instant replay of this?
Did you use the clip of me going no? I don't know if you switched to it fast enough.
I think it was too fast.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I might not have even been at my desk at this point.
Oh
yeah. I think we left the desk. I think we both left our chairs.
I'm so sorry.
We both left our chairs, and we were like,
you'll see it on the 9 o'clock news tomorrow. But anyways,
and so Queen B5 takes on B5, probably the best move in the position, and then Knight E5. So you're occupying good. So even though you lost, you were extremely tenacious.
I tried very hard.
And when you're down like this, that's how you should be. You should keep fighting, because you don't know what he's going to do. And Connor did make a blunder. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wait, is he coming back? Right? So this, again, playing C5 again is a lot of class. So kudos to Connor. Like, a lot of class there, saying, Well, if the first c5 was good, doing that pawn break, the second c5 has to be good as well.
Do it again.
Let's do it again.
I just wanted to get my bishop out, really. That's what I wanted to do. And he
I
played
had
like-
nowhere to move that.
and then he
pawn.
took, yeah. And so yeah, you did get the bishop. And
Yeah, that's
after
good.
castles, then you played a really nice move, castles here, and then bishop f5. Now both of your bishops, if we can look at the diagonals, are hitting all of basically the center.
At this point, I realized I had a weak pawn on c2.
Mhm.
But so here's my second blunder of the game. And at this point, I'm still in like very emotional, everyone hates me mode. I noticed that my c2 pawn is vulnerable. So I'm like, if he gets into there, you know, he has a bishop right in my territory. It's scary. I'm going to lose a pawn, etc., etc. So I've got to move my rook to protect it. I moved the wrong rook. Is what happens next.
Yeah, Sea-Dog predicted that.
Yeah. I moved the wrong rook, and he then left my a2 unprotected, and he took it.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, taking is the best move. And then after knight d3, here we just captures on d3, and this is actually a great idea because when you're up pieces, you trade pieces, and when you're down pieces, you trade pawns.
The reason why I moved that knight was it threatened the bishop, so he had to deal with it, and I knew that I could take his bishop if I took back. So I thought I would be up. I would be up a. Yeah, I'd be up a bishop or something. I'd take both of his bishops, and I know bishops are quite powerful, so that's why I did that.
And, you know, I want to admit that before we move on to talking about this awesome second game, that we did peek in on you after losing that queen, and we were impressed to see that you were still tenaciously pursuing plans of how to recover. We thought we were going to go in there and just see someone defeated, but we got to listen to some very, very good calculation despite being
didn't
down.
want to let Connor down. I just didn't want him to think that that's how I would play for the rest of the game. That's what pulled me back in.
I'm glad I motivated you, I guess.
Yeah.
And you definitely did bring that into the second game. And GT, maybe you show us some of those key moments.
Oh yeah, of course. So let's go into that game, and let's go right from the beginning, right from the top. So e4 c6, and this is called the Caro-Kann, and basically what you wanted to do was say, hey, I'm going to play c6, I'm going to play d5, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge the center early, and I'm going to try to put a pawn in the center. Very strong opening, and I was not expecting to see this.
Neither was I. And Rustage, I wanted to ask you, was this part of a scheme that you had coming up against Connor? Play something a little...
I think the Caro-Kann, most people just mirror with the pawns, and I thought the Caro-Kann would be something unusual that Connor wouldn't have expected from me. So I decided to use it.
True.
The problem I came into later in the game is that he pinned my horse that I really wanted to protect a bit. Later in the game, I spent so much effort trying to move my pawn that's on e7 to e5. I really wanted to move that pawn to e5 to get a strong position and have a bunch of other stuff, but I think I was too focused on that.
Connor, did this throw you off, this response?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to do that. I was like, oh, normally you see different openings from, like, I guess beginners, right? Like I didn't expect that. Yeah, that was a good opening. You caught me off guard.
That's good. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Thank you for the validation. And I apologize. I know I'm rambling a lot.
No,
You're fine. You're fine. And yeah, so I was actually surprised myself. Like, wow. And you played it extremely well, and you came up with the right plans. And we'll talk about that e5 plan in a little bit. So after d5, an exchange here, and then d4, which is I was very impressed to see. I was like, look, you're playing d4, you're taking control of the center. You have that, that bishop on c1 now has a lot of mobility.
Yeah.
And also this bishop already had mobility, right? So all your bishops are mobile, right? Right here, bishop b5.
Oh, can I just say? No, I can't. No, it doesn't matter. Actually, yeah, it does matter. If he did the queen pawn opening, I would have attempted to do that like English gambit thing. I was like,
okay.
I would have attempted it because I wouldn't have known if Connor knew about it.
Do you mind if we show that real quick?
Of course, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and so I'll show the famous trap.
I practiced this before the game because I thought Connor's good at chess, right? But he's not amazing at chess, and I thought
True.
I thought this would be the perfect move because he would move all his pieces in the correct way. And what I love about it is he's moving all these pieces, he's winning until the final piece moves. So yeah, you do queen, and then I move my pawn to e5, I think it was.
And so with the England Gambit, it's really interesting because you're trying to sacrifice a pawn, and so when they take knight c6, they protect the pawn. Queen e7, attacking the pawn again. Bishop f4.
Yep.
And this is the key. This is the key moment. This is the key idea here. And so I'll just show the very, very famous trap that I think Rustic was going for.
Yeah, it would have been
Queen b4?
down to queen b4. Then you would have moved your bishop back to protect the king. Like, seems like the logical thing to do.
Right.
And you get that, yeah.
Yeah. Then I would then take on b2.
And then bishop c3, right? Defending everything.
So then I would move my bishop down to pin the bishop.
Amazing.
This is so
gorgeous.
elaborate.
I know, but it's just like I was like,
I don't know if the chat's ready for this checkmate that you're trying to show. So
then you would move the queen up, so that you could like have more attacks on the bishop for if I take the bishop, right? So then I take the bishop, and you're like,
take the thing, and then you just slide down, right?
Yeah. And then I just slide down and checkmate.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a very beautiful trap and a very beautiful checkmate. So honestly,
because
if you go
everything that you would do there would make sense to you, because it's like, oh yeah, I can move my queen here because it's protected by the horse. I could do, and if you looked at the bar, it was all in like white's favor up until like the last two moves. And I think that's the thing about that, which is what's really fun about it. And I was like, I would have attempted it if you opened that way, because I thought that you might have had the chance of at least letting me have a chance to try and do that. But you didn't.
I hate how the queen, the opening with the pawn queen, I think it makes the game go too fast. I don't like it.
You think so? Oh, fair enough.
It's so aggressive. I feel like it ends up in trades happening immediately. I don't like that.
So I just did Caro card instead.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, that's, yeah.
Caro card instead. I'm sorry. I've really derailed this now.
No. Go ahead.
And honestly, if you want to see traps like this in openings, and we have a whole library of them on Chess.com. So go ahead and check them out. They're under videos or lessons. And also this opening tab you can see in the analysis board. So go check that out. That's a really, really valuable resource that I pretty much use every single day. So that's how I know this trap. So good job mentioning it, because this trap is a very nice trap and a very famous trap.
And you guys may want to take advantage of some practice time, because you both have games tomorrow. Rusted, you're going to be facing the Anime Man for that third place prize. Are you going to get some rest, or are you going to double down?
Well, I'm going to try and get my nap in tomorrow.
Good idea.
And I hope I have a good try against Jerry. Jerry seemed good. He did a couple of blunders, but he also had some really good plays. He seems to be about the same level as me, I feel. That would be a close. I think me versus Jerry will probably be the closest match of the tournament. I think that is the game that has the most likely chance to go to that third deciding round.
Well, if that's the case, then Connor, you and Giga can just play offline, and we'll just focus on.
Sounds good.
No, but seriously though, what do you think, Connor? I mean, you're going up. Is this the matchup that you wanted?
Yeah, I thought this would be a fun matchup. I played Gaunt a few times, and it's always a close game. Gaunt hasn't beat me yet, though, so let's keep it that way.
Okay, you have any particular plans on how you're gonna solidify that?
Not miss easy rooks like I did today, I guess, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so you did notice that rook.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I was like, when I moved and the rook was free, I was crying. I was like, no, my free rook. But then he didn't take it, and I was like, yes, my free rook.
Yeah.
Can I add a point here? There's a retry feature. If you go to your game and you analyze it, it'll show you all of the mistakes that you made. So you hit that retry bar. It's on Chess.com's analysis board, and just go through all the mistakes that you've made and hopefully prepare for your games tomorrow.
Yeah, and Connor, that leads me to ask you that same question. Are you gonna study, or are you gonna rest?
I'm gonna try and get as many games in as possible. I don't know how many I can play. I don't want to burn myself out, but I'm excited for tomorrow either way. I'm glad Trash Taste Finals as well.
I gotta finish my song for next week tomorrow. I'm so behind. This whole chess thing has really put me behind on my regular YouTube
Same,
work.
same. Don't worry, don't worry.
It was,
Well, hopefully it was an enjoyable distraction.
I mean, it's fun. It's enjoyable.
fun.
I mean,
So much fun.
before this whole thing, I didn't know how to play chess, so
Wow.
I never picked it up as a kid because
Yeah.
as a kid, I was the sort of nerdy kid everyone expected to be good at chess. So I never played it because I knew that I would be bad because I never
You
played
didn't
it
want to
before.
play with the stereotypes? Is that why?
Well, no, it's because people would be like, "Oh, Daniel's a smart kid. He's gonna be good at chess," and then I'd sit down and lose, and they would be like, "It's like trope, when you expect someone to be really good, and then it's like if you lost now, right?"
I guess so. Yeah, makes sense.
You know what I mean? If
Well, we'll see.
um,
We'll see, right?
Yeah.
See if
not
I
now.
lose,
I meant
we'll
like
see.
if you lost against me or if you lost against John.
Yeah,
or
makes
something.
sense. Makes sense.
So I never played it. I literally didn't even touch the game until like this month.
I mean,
last
you
month.
did pretty good then, considering
Thank
you
you.
never played.
Yeah, I would say based on the way that you've been playing through the course of this entire tournament, if you'd have told me that, I don't know that I would have believed you. You really got some seriously strong instincts for the game, and so hopefully you put those instincts to good use tomorrow, both of you, in fact, and good luck. We will let you go so that you can practice and rest, and we look forward to some more exciting chess tomorrow.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's wait the final
Thank you very
spin.
much.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Good luck.
And we have our final day set up. JT, tell me, just tell me all the things. I want to know everything that you go.
Okay. I'm gonna be real here. I'm so happy that my team is in the finals. That's amazing. Just as a coach, all of your team just winning, and just getting there. It just is such an amazing feeling as a coach. But I'm honestly like, the way I think this is gonna go is we're gonna have 4 extremely good games. Did you see the way that everybody was playing today? Like, if you thought I was excited for this, seeing these games made me excited for tomorrow. And I cannot wait for that. As just a chess player and a chess enthusiast and as a coach, I really am. I'm setting my alarm. I'm making sure that I'm here on time. I'm doing everything. I'm having a good breakfast because I just want to be prepared for these 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, that's a storyline that we kind of touched on a few times, but didn't really go too deep into. It must be a good feeling for you to feel like your students have done well with the instruction that you had the chance to give them. I mean, 3 out of 4 have made it through the semifinals, and 2 of your students are going head to head.
Yeah. It's a really good feeling as a coach. A really good feeling.
That's awesome. Well, we are. I mean, I'm not going to belabor the point anymore. We have an amazing day ahead of us tomorrow. So everyone, please be back here, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And
also, please tell us your predictions of what's going to happen and what games we should look out for. Just message us on Twitter at Japanesetutor Chess and at Aranhawaii. Let us know how you feel about these games, and we'll see you next time.
And maybe we'll even share it live. So get those tweets at us, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, and good night.